the Northeast Mississippi Scouting Report for Week 13 of the high school football season. I'm Brade, Locke, Assistant Sports Editor for the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. And welcoming back today to the show, Coach Jimmy Dillinger of Baldwin. He joined us early on in the season, and Coach, you're back because your team is still playing. It's the third round of the playoffs, and Baldwin will play host to Hollandale Simmons this weekend. Coach, this is a Simmons team that's 10-1. And a team that y'all played last year in the third round and beat over at their place. But how similar is that team to maybe to this year's team?
You know, they lost I know the big linebacker and fullback that played for them last year, but they're also returning the quarterback and some other outstanding players. They've got a very good offensive line, very quick, good running game. The quarterback can run and throw. He does a good job in all phases of it. They're very, very similar to the same group that we played last year.
And this Hollandale Simmons team, that they defeated Yapor last week, which was previously undefeated, and Yapor defeated Baldwin. But then again, Riverside defeated Simmons, a team that y'all beat last week pretty handily. So I don't know what you make of those scores. I guess you maybe make more of the recent one, wouldn't you?
You do, and you know, it's like we try to tell our kids. We've started each week now is a new season. Each team coming in is undefeated. The games that they've played before are great for experience and going back and look at it, but you've got to forget those things and move ahead and just look what you've got coming up before you.
Well, Coach, talk about y'all's play of late. You had that loss earlier to Yapor, and you've also had a loss to Bruce. So y'all were 10-2 coming in, but you seem like y'all have maybe kicked it up another notch the last few weeks.
You know, we played a pretty tough preseason schedule, and like I said, the last two of the preseason games, Bruce and Yapor, we were defeated. We came into our region, we did really well in there. And we came into the Walnut game. Walnut came in undefeated, and I think our kids kind of refocused on that part of it and knew what was going. And since that Walnut game, we've done the kids have played great, you know.
And that was a 31-0 win in the regular season finale, which handed y'all the Region 1-2A title. Coach, some parts of your team in particular, I know the linebackers, for instance, that was a big hole. You lost Isaiah Robbins and the Cannon Griffin kid from last year, so you had some holes to fill, but guys like Devin Lindsay seem to have stepped in and done a pretty good job. Can you talk about their development?
Yeah, it is. That was a big concern for us because we had our front returning, but our linebacking crew was gone, and we were looking at about 4 different kids, and all 4 kids have played. But Jemiah Hodges and Devin Lindsay seem to have ones have stepped up here, especially recently, and have done a great job. And Devin especially is a very young sophomore linebacker, and he's still learning, but he's going to be a pretty good one.
And switching over quickly to your offense, I mean, a lot of guys with a lot of talent on that side. Jamela Ties, Dorian Berry, Wesley Wildman, Dominic Davenport helps you out on that side of the ball. And you feel like they're starting to reach their potential. They've been putting up some more points lately and some more yards.
They do, and I think, you know, we create something a lot of teams that we've faced don't have. We've got 3 or 4 explosive kids that can all of a sudden break one, and that's been a plus for us, where some of them rely on one outstanding young man or something like that, but you've got to guard against 3 different backs or a wide receiver like Dorian Berry. Yeah. You've got to account for, you know. It makes it difficult on defense. It makes it difficult when we practice against them with our defensive side, you know, to try to defend them.
I wanted to ask you about Dorian Berry. He's your main receiver, averaging, I think, what, 24 yards a catch. He's got over 800 yards on the year. Just tell me a little bit about him. You know, people looked at that offense, and maybe his name wasn't the first one that came to mind. You know,
we knew he played as one of the wingbacks last year, and we moved him wide receiver. Thought with his height and his speed, you know, would be a great target. And he's done some outstanding catches. And last week he made a kind of screen catch, and he carried 4 or 5 kids, broke that tackle, and broke 2 or 3 more, you know, to do a good job. He's strong. He's got good speed, really more speed than people think that he has, you know, and he can catch that football. He's a weapon for us, and they have to account for him.
All right, Coach. Well, Baldwin Bearcats going to try to keep rolling like they have been at 10-2, hosting Hollandale Simmons, which is 10-1, in the third round of the playoffs. And if Baldwin wins, they get to make a return trip to the North Half title game where they lost to Calhoun City last year. Coach Dillinger, once again, appreciate you joining us here, and thanks for joining us on the Northeast Mississippi Scouting Report. Check out the Daily Journal this weekend for all your high school football playoff coverage, and join us again Friday night / Saturday morning for the Northeast Mississippi Rewind.